Hi, everyone. I'm Steve here again with Pastor Victor Brote. Thanks for being with us, Pastor.
Thank you.
So this is an interesting verse we're going to talk about, and it makes me think of contentment with the money that we make. And it seems like this again is human nature. Hey, if I could only make another $500 a month, oh, that'd be good. I'd be totally satisfied. But then that scale slides. It's always sliding. Oh, if I could just make another $500, and it doesn't seem to stop. So, what verse do you have for us?
Okay, we're looking at Luke 3:14. And I just got to give a bit of an introduction in that this is John the Baptist speaking. And really, he is encouraging people to get ready for the coming Messiah. And that's why he's there and saying this. That's why they recorded it. Then some soldiers asked him, "And what should we do?" He replied, "Don't extort money and don't accuse people falsely. Be content with your pay." Seems like there's always a way of squeezing out an extra dime or two out of the situation.
A little more.
A little more. Always a little more. And I am overwhelmed by some of the things going on just in this county. I heard the statistic that the average credit card debt is $18,000. $18,000. I mean, this is crazy. I just want this thing. I just want that thing. And it just sneaks up. And that's the average. There's some people that are much higher than the average because I'm bringing down the average way down. Mine's paid off every month. But there's a way of being content with what life is dishing out instead of, and you think about it, especially the credit card debt, it's 19, 20, I've seen 28% for the credit. And suddenly you are a slave, a total slave to your desires. There was a young man I remember visited his house, and it was a nice new house. And then off to the side, he had a nice kind of a boat it wasn't just a rowboat, it was a boat. And it had two motors on the back. And I know that it had to be, $40,000 if anything. And I think I do the math in my head. And it just, what was happening is everything was eating away at this guy because he'd made decision after decision in that kind of sense of not being content. Something more will make me happy. The new boat, the new car, the new barbecue out back with a roofing cover, and just all this stuff that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and there is no contentment. Our society is full of that. In fact, I think that the average person now is doing 4 or 5 side gigs to raise extra money because they've gotten behind. And it's just, if we could only be content. And this sounds like a cliche, but until we rest in Jesus, we don't have any contentment. Until we have that now, people will raise their hand and say, yeah, I believe in Jesus, but there's something different about resting in Jesus and finding that contentment. And I know that you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I start to do the math in my head, and $18,000, you're toast. I mean, you got to pay the interest, the minimum payment, and you got to pay, to put that in perspective, an extra $1,000 a month for 18 months on top of your regular payment. So, and interest, credit cards, they never go below 18 or 20. It doesn't matter what the interest rates do, but that puts it in perspective by chasing, this and that, and wow.
You're swimming in a flushing toilet. That's what you're doing when you play that game. It's just, you can't win.
Yeah.
You feel all the pressures and there's no contentment.
we kind of got sidetracked with that. But if you think about what John the Baptist is telling these people, be content with your wage. Well, they get desperate and they go, how am I going to create an extra $1,000? Well, it gets a little tempting to do it unethically. And maybe that's what was happening. I don't know, because of what we're
Oh, it's
talking
typical
about.
of typically soldiers of those days, they had the power, so they could just manipulate the situation in such a way and make money from it and monetize it. And it was just, people hated them for it,
Yeah, because
but
it's called stealing. Because
yeah,
that's what it really
one
is.
way or
It's
another.
stealing.
Yeah.
You know,
And
you're
there's an
in
ethical side.
intimidation. Give me your money
Yeah.
for no reason. Yeah. Well, it's something really to think about. And hey, you guys, apply that to your choices and the financial choices that you make, and what John the Baptist is telling these soldiers. So, Pastor, appreciate you. Thanks for being with us, and we will talk to you
Thanks.
next time.
All right.